Welcome to God's Plan, Chosen for Such a Time as Now, Session 4. The title of Session 4 is Counting the Cost, and we'll be talking about strongholds and surrender. So this is the video tutorial for the section called God's Plan, and it's on pages 72 and 73. So by now you should have listened to the classroom presentation on Esther chapter 4. Esther chapter 4 talks about that moment where Esther has to make a decision. Is she going to surrender and let go of anything in her past, good or bad, in order to do the plan that God has for her? And the verse that stands out and is so popular is in short summary is, perhaps this is the moment for which you have been created. So that's where we're at as we are learning about God's plan and how we have been chosen to fulfill His purpose in our life and to have abundant life. Because we do, we have to first consider if we are willing to surrender those things in the past that we really don't need to move forward with. Are we going to let go of some of those strongholds, whether they're good or bad, in order that we can fulfill that purpose that God has for us? God says that what He has planned for us is above and beyond anything that we could ever imagine. But in order for us to understand that and be a part of that and fulfill that purpose, we have to surrender. There's a couple of verses in this section, and it's when Jesus is talking to His disciples, and He says, if any of you wants to be my follower, you must give up your own way, take up your cross, and follow me. And another verse He says is, if you try to hang on to your life, you will lose it. But if you give up your life for my sake, you will save it. What God is basically saying is, our knowledge is so tiny and so finite and so limited that we have no idea of God's grand plan and design. And He says, if you just kind of stay stuck in your human finite understanding, you're just going to lose out. But if you're willing to take up your daily activities and take up what I ask of you, then it is going to just be life-changing. And so we are at a point here in session 4 where we're getting ready to, we're leaving behind that past. We're going to make a decision right here and now. Are we willing to surrender those things that we need to in order to move forward in our daily walk? Are we willing to let go of those strongholds that keep us from living a fulfilling life? That's when we're doing it. We're doing it in this session, because starting the next session, we're talking about the present, and we're just kind of leaving the past where it needs to be, in perspective, but in the past. So this is a very simple session here on God's plan on these pages. Literally what you're going to do is you're just going to take time to review what we've done up to this point, put some definitions to those key points that we've been talking about, like sovereignty, providence, discernment, decision-making, trust, character traits, values, your story, your timeline. Define those, review those, write it down, and then we're going to get ready to go into session 4, the self-reflection part. So I'll see you there.